So today will mark day 3 of my formal, well, I don't know if it's formal yet, but of my personal practice as a Druid in the ancient order of Druids in America. And I mark my first day as 2 days ago, being the first day after I had done several amounts of reading about the Druids and the Gnostic Celtic Church. I had known about John Michael Greer and his role as Druid, Archdruid, some decade ago or so. So I took to it, and I liked the ideology. And 3 days or 2 days ago is when I first cast the Sphere of Protection, which is a symbolic ritual that they request their candidates for initiation to perform every day for at least a year. So I began that practice 2 days ago, and I have to tell you, the moment that I cast my first Sphere of Protection, I could feel it. And as somebody who was raised as an atheist, the thing is, I can access magic from an atheistic sort of know-it-all standpoint of like saying, well, I know pretty much that the universe isn't magical, but this works because of how placebo works. Works because of how the human body and the human mind are connected, and how symbology works to empower us through our psyche. So I can explain it all psychologically, and I'm fine to do just that and be a druid, and they will happily have me, which is great because I remember exploring churches a few years back as I was like seeking, just a culture and a community that's grounded in similar values to me. And I really liked the Unitarian Universalists, and that was one of the first churches that I had entered where they were like pretty okay with me being like, I'm an atheist, or I'm an agnostic, or I'm an agnostic atheist, you know? Uh, the Quakers were also really great. So, but I think I like these Druids even more because I think there's something about reaching back to pre-Christian, pre-Rome, because Christian is Roman and Roman is imperial. And I think before the Romans came, there was like a different sort of culture in Europe where my ancestors came from. I have ancestors that go all the way back to the founding of America before the revolution. But so I like this Druid revivalism, it's called. It started 300 years ago, and it's a reach back to pre-Roman. So that would be like the BC era, or the early couple centuries in Europe. And the Celtic people of England was kind of like the last retreat of that civilization that was running from the Romans. And that civilization kind of still exists in the far north um, of Europe, the far, far north. Those people kind of, Europe, I mean, there's no real reason, but they're also live in a sparse, harsh environment. It's interesting to imagine what the values of Inuit type peoples or far Nordic peoples, um, what those values would have looked like in a more verdant uh, area like Central Europe or even Southern Europe before it was taken over by imperial type civilization. So, anyways, the Sphere of Protection's pretty cool. I'm gonna show it to you now. So part of what's I always say only bored people get bored. I mean, sorry, only boring people get bored. So don't be boring. Do cool stuff. This is the beginning of a Druid notebook that I'm working on, and in it I have an old piece of art got tucked in here somehow. Um, Yeah, I've got my sphere protection ritual outlined with some of the symbols. The last symbol there I see is missing. Oh no, here it is. Right. So then I want to draw a picture down here for it, but this is really exciting, and this is where I'm going to add my individualized version, because the Druids really want individualized versions kind of everything, it seems like, which I love, because I love being an individual. One of the things about me that kind of comes into conflict with communists and lefty types. So some of them like actually try and cast out individualism. I'm like, what? No. Yeah. So, I'm really excited about this, and I'm excited to take you guys with me on this journey.